live here on July 3rd. I'm going to actually bring in one of our mentees real quick. 1 second. See if he comes on in. Hello, hello. Go ahead and chime in. Happy Wednesday, July 3rd, before our birthday, July 4th. So we're going to talk multifamily real quick. Waving at all of you guys. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Come on in. Let's see if he's joined. Okay. Bryan, did you get the invite? If not, I'm going to resend it. But let me know if you got the invite. I'm going to send it again. Here it comes. Come on in. So yeah, we are going to talk multifamily. Bryan's looking at some deals right now. He's in our mentorship program.
Hello.
Man, what's up, my man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Happy 3rd of July.
Yeah.
So yeah, we wanted to kind of jump on, and I thought this would be really cool to do, so that way people who are looking at investing in multifamily and trying to figure out where they're at and how to go, you're newer into the program, but you're looking at some deals right now and considering whether you go into escrow or not escrow or where you're at. So I know you're having some phone calls with some brokers. And how do you have these discussions with brokers who have these deals that you're looking at executing on and getting into escrow? So kind of walk me through it. Maybe don't give the address.
Yeah.
That way, since it's a deal, you want to protect the deal. But maybe give some background.
Yeah. So it's a 34-unit property in Cleveland, Ohio. It's in a pretty good neighborhood. I mean, before I started with your mentorship, I had a lot of interest in investing in Cleveland, but it was more residential. So I had a lot of connections there between agents, general contractors, but I never pulled the trigger. But I did a ton of research, and that's where I thought, instead of doing research in another market, I already have some connections in Cleveland, and so I started looking in Cleveland, and I came across this property. It was first offered a year ago, actually, at like 2.25 million, and they kept on reducing it to the point where they were at 1.75, and then I offered at 1.6, and they're interested. Yes, and they're all one bedroom, one baths.
Okay, how many units again?
34.
34 units. So that's awesome. And based on your projections right now, what does the cash on cash look like, and what does the internal rate of return, the IRR, look like for that deal at that price? And then how much are you putting down, and how do we walk through that?
Yeah, let me pull up the deal analyzer real quick. Underwriting.
That's the one we gave you, right?
Correct.
Or is it a different one? Okay.
Correct. That is the one that you gave me.
You're in at 1.6. You said, I don't know if this marker. You probably can't even see. That is a bad marker today. I was going to try and do a little light behind you, but that may not work.
No worries. Yeah, 1.6, 25% down. I'm projecting about $300,000 in rehab. Okay. That's because the units are like classic, so we want to make it more modern. Step-in showers, new kitchens, and yeah, the cash on cash, based off of the metrics, we're looking. I mean, it's for me at 1.6 million. I mean, we're looking at 10.62 cash on cash,
which is fantastic. Yeah,
and IRR of 23.
Yeah, which is fabulous. And that's in Cleveland, Ohio, or just outside of Cleveland?
It's well, not in the city, because the city is a rough place.
Right.
So it's
I love how you describe it. Yeah, you got to know your locations.
Yeah, it's on the outskirts, and when you start moving to the outskirts in the suburbs, you start seeing these B plus, A minus residential areas, and it's pretty nice. Yeah. The one problem I have with it, I think, is parking. I mean, from the pictures, it doesn't look like there's any parking structure, any parking space. Seems like everything is going to be on the street.
Okay.
So Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something to look at from
Yeah.
a rentability standpoint.
Uh-huh.
Location, is it in a pretty good neighborhood market, that type of thing?
Yes. So it's in a really good. I mean, if you're talking about like grading, I probably grade it probably B plus. It's surrounded by other affluent neighborhoods,
Yeah,
like A minuses.
yeah, and that's kind of, I call it, you want to be Walmart surrounded by Neiman Marcus, JCPenney, Nordstrom.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to be the B surrounded by the A's,
Yeah.
or a C surrounded by B's, that type
Yeah.
of thing, because that will drive other good profiles and tenants and allow you to do the renovations you're talking about, increase rents, and be able to pull in that profile that's going to be able to pay a little bit more as long as you're not having to go around with a gun to collect rent.
Yeah.
So,
Correct.
yeah, that's really key. Okay, I love that. And so other than the parking, anything else? Because you're about to have some conversations with the brokers about your offer and the deals and all that stuff. So walk me through some of your questions you may have on that, or we can maybe role play, etc.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a brick building, so I don't know if exterior matters at this
It
point because
does.
it's a brick building. Oh, it does. Okay, yeah. So if I wanted to go through the whole exterior, I mean, then the rehab cost would have to go up even more, right?
Well, the whole exterior, you said?
Yes. If I wanted to repaint for more of a curb appeal, would it?
Yeah, because right now
Yeah.
you have just under $10,000 a unit
Yeah.
dedicated to this, based on $300,000 renovation budget. You have 34 units, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you probably, if you're going to do paint and some exterior work, but this is all going to happen, presuming you get into escrow and you do this stuff. Maybe start stress testing a little bit, and maybe if you add another 100 grand to the budget, which is fine. But you may be able to get better rents. You don't know. So
Yeah.
there's different ways to look at that, but you don't need to make that decision at the moment. I think
Okay.
it's more a matter of, okay, they've tentatively kind of agreed to your 1.6, and then, so the questions I would have for the brokers when you get on the phone is, I guess, go through some basic vacancy occupancy issues. I'd want to know about collections on the property, in terms of rents and all that. You'll get into all this in your due diligence, presuming you get into escrow, but it's more a matter of just getting some high level stuff for, hey, what's the current occupancy, which I know they told you this. How are collections on the property in terms of actually getting people to pay rent? Any active evictions going on, stuff like that. Okay. And try and get some information on why the seller is selling. The broker's going to give you a bullshit answer anyways, but what you want to do is kind of try and read between the lines. So, when did they buy the property, right? When did the sellers or the current owners buy the property? What have they done to the property in terms of improvements? Why are they selling? Just to kind of get an overall feel for that. And that I would know that. Whatever the answer they give you for why they're selling. Oh, they're trying to do this. They've owned it. But yeah, when did they buy it? What have they done to it? When are they selling it? Are there other parties in this best and final? Are they is that where you're at on a best and final right now?
It seems so. I don't know for sure, but they just wanted to get
other
on a phone call.
Are there other offers on the table you're aware of?
I mean, this property has been on the market for, the last time I checked was like almost a year.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and what was it listed at?
It was listed
again.
In the beginning. It was listed at 2.25.
Okay.
And then
now you're
constantly
able to for potentially 1.6.
1.6, correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it cash flows just fine. We're at 1.38.
Yeah.
On the DCR.
Yeah.
So
it's just making sure, all of those, and you get into that in your due diligence to verify the financial data, to verify the physical property, make sure it's not a money pit. All of that's going to happen while you're in escrow. But yeah, sure. Do you want to get some basics and information up front? Yeah. You want to get some, what information have they sent you other than a rent roll and a T12? Have they sent any other information?
No. So other than maybe the OM, I looked at the OM, and I looked at some pictures of the units. They didn't have that many pictures, so I went on Google. I typed in the address because they had, some units up for rent on Zillow, and so I was able to look at pictures of the units. It looked like, yeah, it's classic. Like they had like a tub and everything, and no walk-in showers. And I did comparables with a couple properties that we're asking. So right now we're looking at 760 on average for the rents. I'm hoping to get, I mean, I'm being conservative, but I'm hoping to get, 875, ideally 900. And that's possible within the area, just looking at comparables.
Yep.
But, we
Yeah.
would need, like I said,
Yeah. And so what
yeah.
I always look for with that is like, what is the highest I can get the rent? So find out like, okay, what is for a comparable building, reasonably comparable for age and amenities and or lack thereof, right? So building style, what is the highest rents period in the overall area? Because that lets me know what I can shoot for.
Mhm.
Whether or not I get there or not is one thing, but at least I can shoot for it. Because then you just back away from that, meaning, hey, if you're not going to do the same level of renovations, okay, great. So maybe we drop our rents a little bit. But yeah, I want to know where's the highest I could go right now. And are rents trending up? Are they flatlined, or where are they kind of at, generally speaking, for that market? Do you know?
It's that I don't know. Yeah, I didn't.
But presume rents are going to be pretty static for the next 18 months.
Okay.
So you're not going to see a lot of rent growth for the next 18 months. But if you can move the rents by the renovations, what does that look like? Is it 900? Because yeah, that'd be great. Because then you're going from, you said 760?
760 average, yeah.
So that gets you a $140 bump. You definitely want that kind of bump to be able to do these level of renovations. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah, you'd want it bumping up pretty good. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it seems like an interesting. What questions do you have for, I guess, the brokers? And they're obviously going to ask you some questions probably about what's your experience, have you done these things before, like all those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of walk me how you would want to answer that, and then I can give you some guidance.
In terms of their question, in terms of my experience, is that it?
Yeah, because they're probably going to want to know, yeah, who are you?
Got it.
So what about yourself, Bryan?
Yeah, so I'll probably just tell them that, I'm an investor in the area, and I partner with others to on deals, I guess. That's
yeah. I mean,
something like that.
Yeah, so this is what I would say. Remind me real quick: have you bought any other real estate, or is this
No? This is my first one. It'll be my first deal.
First real estate deal ever.
First real. I mean, other than my own primary home.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to understand if you've done like a condo or some
no.
duplexes. So, yeah, my response would be, hey, I'm a real estate investor. And what else do you do for a living? Remind me, your dog.
Yeah.
You have the dog.
Oh yeah, I train dogs for a living.
Yeah.
So I run that business. I do a pet boarding business. Mm-hmm. So that's what I do as my primary income.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my main thing.
And then have you run this by any lenders yet? This is what they're going to ask you.
In terms of what I do for a living? Yeah, I did. So
this is what the broker is going to do. So I can walk you through this. They're going to say, hey, tell me a little bit about yourself. Great. Let's do that. You're going to say, hey, I have a professional dog training business. That's how I would leave it. I have a dog training business, and I invest in multifamily.
Yeah.
And we do it with investors. Like that would be my response. Great. Okay. What's your experience? Have you done any other deals and stuff? Yeah, we've had other deals. Some of them haven't gone through, but we're partnered with a group that is doing this around the country, and I'd leave it at that.
Yeah.
And my background, I give them some background in Cleveland, your knowledge of that. And then I would say you can almost even lead in on that and say, yeah, we've actually already sent this deal into one of our lenders to take a look at it, to size it up for some financing. Okay. So I'll get some more details back on that, but that's how we made our offer, was based on that. And
Got it.
Because that's how they're going to want to know. And then they're going to say, hey, how are you getting the down payment? Because what's the total down payment dollars for the closing? Not including renovation.
Not including renovations. I mean, it's 20. Oh, okay. So that'll be 400. We're doing it at 25%. It'll still be above a million, and we're still cash flowing at 1.38
Okay.
DCR.
So yeah, Brian, how are you getting the down payment?
Yeah.
That's what they're going to ask you.
Right.
How are you bringing it in? How are your money?
Correct. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. She still with the broker. She
I'm going to
actually
role play
texted
with you.
me. Yeah. Yeah. She literally texted me about a bio. So when she texted me, okay, let's do a meeting. She asked for the bio, and that's literally what I said. I partner. I mentioned you guys. I also partner with other investors. I also own a dog training business. I literally said all of that, and she was like, "Okay, thank you." And then she sent me the Microsoft team and Zoom thing. Yeah. So I'll
Yeah, so
probably
they're
just
going to want to
reiterate
go
that
into some
one.
basics.
Yeah.
You know, where are you planning to get your financing? How are you planning to buy
Yeah.
this? Where's your down payment? All that stuff. And so my response on any of that would be is yes, we've actually already submitted this deal to one of our lenders. They're taking a look at it right now.
Okay.
And I'd leave it at that. The down payment, we're projecting around 400 and something thousand in down payment, whatever it is. That's going to come through a combination of my money as well as we syndicate with investors. That's how we raise a lot of our equity. And we have a lot of those partners teed up and they're already looking at it. And that's true. And that's how you would leave it at that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to get granular with it, but that's what they're going to address with you is, hey, if you like the building, how are you arranging the financing and how are you arranging the down payment? That's all they care about. Because at the end of the day, the broker cares about, can you close the deal? Like, you're here. We're going to go into escrow with you potentially. If we do, are you going to make me look like a jackass? Meaning,
Okay.
are you going to close this thing or not? Now, granted, you got to go through due diligence. You have to do your inspections. You have to make sure the broker's not full of crap and the seller's not full of crap and everybody's not full of crap. But presuming that's all legitimate and it looks like it does on paper, okay, great. How can you close? Can you arrange the capital for the down payment and can you arrange the financing? And so the answer to both those questions is yes, we're already working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is how we're doing it. And you have the lenders in the back end of our system you can submit to, as well as on the equity side, it's putting together the stuff on the deal. And that'll start going out, while is it an escrow period on your offer? Was it a 60-day escrow?
60-day escrow, yeah, with 28 days. 30-day option to extend, 28 days due diligence.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And your deposit, and what's your deposit monies? 1%?
I put it at 1%.
Okay. So what is that? $16,000?
Something like that. I have to read the LOI, but
yeah, it's probably somewhere in there.
Yeah, 16,000 and 1,600 non-refundable deposit if I extend over 30 days.
Right. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's more than fair. Okay. Yeah, because that's kind of what you're going to address. Is they just want to, feel good with you. Who are you? What do you do? How are you connected? Have you done other deals? Blah, blah, blah. And you say, yeah, I'm a newer investor, but we invest in multifamily. I have a dog training business. You'll touch on that. I'm partnered with a group that they're doing this around the country, which you are. And okay, great. Tell us a little bit about the financing. How are you going to finance this? Well, we've already submitted it to a couple of our lenders. They're taking a look at it, and we're already preparing our pitch deck for our investors.
Okay.
Because we syndicate our equity. That's what I basically have to say.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And that's going to be the main items that are going to come up on the call.
Okay. Yes. So I do have a question. So it's not about the deal, but I do have another property that I really want to offer on. And both of these deals they look pretty good. The other one's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so that I talked to the broker. The broker he has ownership interest in the property as well. So I actually got to talk to the owner as well. And he's pretty motivated to sell as well. And I ran the numbers, everything looks great. In terms of let's say if I offer and he accepts, and now I have two offers that are potential, and maybe this one wants to move fast into escrow, what would you do in this case?
Well, for your first deal, I wouldn't be going in escrow with two deals.
Yes.
But you got to make a choice. Which one do you like more?
Okay. They're both really good.
yeah, I wouldn't. And you got to trust your instinct and your gut based on your and you have to choose one for your first one. So that way you're not cannibalizing your investing, right? Because if you have two options for investors to choose from at the moment, and you don't have a large investor pool, then you're going to cannibalize your own deal.
Yeah.
So I would you just got to make a choice and you got to go with it and go all in to make sure you close on your first deal. And that's where we help along that process. But you're going to have to just make a choice.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because the other one, I mean, it's lower price, but the amount of rehab is less, and it has the parking structure. And so it's 22 units.
And Tulsa is a good market, so you just want to double check the market and do some market research on Tulsa, just to make sure it's in a good, decent area. And
I've done that.
Population growth and some job growth, because that's going to be the drivers for your rents. And then current occupancy, but that'll all get into the due diligence side. But just the overall economic viability of Tulsa is going to be key for that one, because if it is less renovation, that's going to be good for you, especially on your first deal. Less heavy lifting, and you can just get in to begin to cash flow it faster without having to really do a lot of stuff to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially on your, I always recommend on your first one to do, medium to light renovations.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And we did too. On our first two deals, they were, our first one was a light to medium. Second one was pretty heavy, but we'd already gotten through the first one, so I understood the process pretty well.
Got it. And would you deem this Cleveland one as moderately,
You're going to be renovating the whole interiors?
Units. So I'm assuming like just units for now. I don't know about like the common areas.
Right,
but
the interior units. But what you're going to do? Paint, flooring. What else?
Paint. Flooring looks old. Bath looks old. They have like the whole old style of tub, and kitchen cabinets look okay. We might be able just to reface it, and make it look nice. But yeah, definitely the bathroom needs some work.
Okay.
And the flooring is wooden floors, maybe laminate, or
you go with an LVT and stuff on that.
LVT,
But okay, so you're gonna do some decent interior renos, which is fine. I mean, that's not crazy heavy. You're not taking things down to the studs and removing drywall and all kinds of crazy stuff like that.
I see.
That's not too crazy. Would you be doing a bunch of plumbing or electrical work on them?
That I don't know yet. I mean, it doesn't seem like it from the OM,
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so as long as you're kind of staying cosmetic based, that's kind of me.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, thank you. I think that's really all the questions I have.
Yeah, let me know how the calls go and stuff. But yeah, you just got to trust your instinct between the two. If you get a chance to lock up one or the other, just go with your gut, and your gut will tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yep.
This was
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah, we'll get this saved and stuff, and then if anybody has questions, obviously that's in here now, chime in. But it's always fun to do these things, and not only helping you out, but helping other people too, as they're kind of watching and learning this stuff.
All right.
Well, cool, man. Let's go get it. Let's lock it up.
All right. Thank you. You have a good one.